Hey guys, SMZ here. We're back playing Raid Shadow Legends. And guys, I have a very interesting video for you today. It's all about Embrys the Anomaly, who is this free champion that you get from doing the Chimera for many weeks or rather months. My, I have been able to get him fairly recently. I've been doing both Ultra Nightmare and Nightmare on the Chimera every single week, one key. That's why you just build up the fragments. He is an amazing champion for PvP. He's completely going to change the meta, and that's because on his first form, this ability right here, in which he basically removes Stone Skin without needing accuracy, which is crazy. So Stone Skin is, I think, gonna fade out slowly because of this champion and the fact that he is free to collect, even though it takes a lot of times. A lot of people will collect him later, and some endgame accounts like myself are already collecting him. However, PvP is not the only thing that he is good at. He is an amazing champion for PvE as well. And the area that I'm going to showcase to you today is going to be the Sand Devil. So his first form is not that interesting for that, but his second form is absolutely amazing, which is actually his nuke form. It looks so cool as well. It's like the squid. Just the design is amazing. But this champion, he obviously has the very hard hitting abilities, block revive A1 and a very hard hitting nuke on his A2. But I read his kit and I saw that on his A3. It's a very interesting kit. So swaps HP with an enemy, which is nice to have on PvE or on PvP. But for PvE, where we're targeting bosses, it fully restores destroyed max HP and fully heals his champion. And in my head, that screamed that definitely has to be Sand Devil, where you do need to recover your destroyed max HP, you do need to heal, right? The only problem I was thinking here was how does he revive? Because the nuke of Sand Devil that just kills you, right? And that's where his passive comes in. His passive is amazing. So his passive is similar to a lot of other people, like Blizzard, for example. For example, Godseeker, where whenever he's about to get killed, he preempts that hit and places revive on death, so he comes back. So he will survive that nuke. It's on a 5-turn cooldown, so you have to build him pretty tanky. Another cool thing that it does, this passive, if you read this first part right here, when this champion dies, reflects damage equal to 50% of the fatal hit back to the attacker, including any surplus damage. I read that and I was like, this is gonna be great. The Sand Devil hits hard. And when he hits you, you obviously die, but he reflects 50% of the damage back. With the fact that you should also build him as a nuker, he is gonna be doing Sand Devil solo, right? And that's where I started testing him. So, a few things to take into consideration. Because he's such a great PvP champion, I did not want to build him in a region gear, for example, in which most people won't use him, especially endgame people, because you don't want to basically take away from his normal build, which is going to be lethal and stone skin. That's going to be the best nuker build when it comes to PvP. So I want to stay as close to that as possible, right? I'm going to jump into the run and then we can come back and talk about his build. So let me load up the run. There it is. So he takes the nuke because of the stone skin. He transforms. First time round, his HP is full, so he doesn't need it. But you will notice that he keeps hitting, and when the Sand Devil sleep, he takes more damage. But that doesn't matter. You will notice when he hits the nuke for the first time. So we're taking hits, we're hitting him. The damage is not the best, obviously, because I don't have any blessings or anything. There, did you see that? That huge chunk of health that just went down when the Sand Devil hit us. He revived and then he fully healed himself. And basically, this mechanic is just going to cycle through. His speed is something that you will need to be careful about. Higher speed can work, and I try to emulate that as well currently because of no blessings, because of restrictions on how I want to build him. And again, I remember that I want to keep him as close to the PvP build as possible because I don't want people to just throw this idea away because it will require re-gearing him or anything. You can use him in the same build. Now, why would you want a solo Sand Devil? Most teams, even concluding my team, do it in 8 or 9 seconds, right? The thing is, yes, that is true. And when you have the Gear Ascension tournament or when you have the Sand Devil Turn Attack tournament, that's the team you should run. But every other time, this run, let me go almost towards the end. We're about 2 minutes 30, which is not the slowest time. Remember, when I get blessings on him, when I get more damage into his build, this is gonna go faster. 2 minutes 30 is not the longest time, even now. And he's running with 4 food champions. So you can be ranking up food champions while you're doing Sand Devil. And Sand Devil is a stage that basically every account will run. More so in the mid game and late game. But every account will need these oils, will need the ores, for example. So this is a pretty great team. Now there are things that you need to watch out for. Let's jump into the build and I'll showcase that. There are many ways when it comes to PvP of building this guy. You can build him because on his alternate form, he has HP and accuracy multipliers, especially on his big nuke, right? However, if you read his A2, which is this big hit, it ignores 50% defense for whose enemies whose accuracy is equal to or higher than this champion's accuracy. You do want that effect because the other effect is just double damage. And many times, ignoring 50% defense means a lot more than just doing double damage. So you want to build him with low accuracy. You can build him as a hybrid, you can build him with full accuracy. Remember that on his normal form, his stone skin strip does not need the accuracy. He just strips regardless of the accuracy. The only thing basically that you'll be missing out is the decrease attack, which mostly for PvP you don't really care about. So, which is why building no accuracy into him, in my opinion, is the way to go, and that's what I have gone for. So I'll show him here the full build. By the way, guys, I realized this recently. You know, our eyes are trained to always click on this eye to load up the screen, right? You can click anywhere here. Here, this loads up. Here, this loads up. Did you know this? It's crazy. Anyways, so what I've built him with is very high HP because he's an HP based nuker, which is also nice because it's easier to build him. So 87k HP for me, 249 speed, 234 crit damage, and very low accuracy. So one thing I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build his speed lower so that he can withstand the hit with stone skin. However, if you have him in a higher speed, that's also fine. You will need the preset. What you will need to do is you will need to have him to go into his alternate form. And then Sand Devil can nuke us. Because if he dies in his normal form, then you're not getting that revive on death. So that's the only thing that you will need to take care of. Another thing to notice is that when you are in form 2, his HP increases and his speed decreases as well. So all that you need to keep into consideration. You can build him, as I said, in a higher speed pool as well, which a lot of endgame players, for example, will have. But then again, when you go to the preset, then just make sure that, and I should actually show you the presets here. So if I go here, another cool thing is that he provides, when he's the lead, 35% HP increase, right? Which is obviously we don't want for the allies, but for him, it's actually great. So for me, this is my normal Sand Devil team that I use for fast runs, but now this is going to be my team that I use. His presets, you immediately want him to go to metamorph, to go into second form, and then never metamorph again. This actually I should remove away. This is fine because you do want to prioritize this. I was testing something, so you just want to leave this be over here. You want him to use this first to heal himself and then use atomize. So yeah, that's kind of the build. And if I go back to showcase all of the other stuff, relics and such, one other thing, if you are an early game player and you don't have the gear set to make him shine in PvP, and maybe this is the area that you want to use him in, you can run him in regen and immortal, for example, to have him just heal up, and he will do the job for you. If you're struggling with Sand Devil, he will do the job. But the cool thing is that he works in both areas. So Wand of Submission, which everybody will get because of the Community Weeks event going on. Once you get him, I think it's one of the best relics for PvP content. That's what I've tried to have on him. The gemstones, I can change around. I was just testing to try to do more damage. I will change the gemstones later. He does get some speed out of this as well, which is great. Don't have any blessings on him. When I get him to 6-star, or actually even before that, because I will be using him in PvP, Lightning Cage will be the way to go. If I was exclusively using in PvE, then perhaps Crushing Ren at 6-star would be great. But yeah, in my opinion, Lightning Cage is what I will build once I get the blessings on him. In terms of the masteries, I've gone down the offense tree, and although I've gone down the support, notice that I'm not picking up any of the accuracy masteries. So this or this, I'm picking up adding more HP on him, allowing him to heal more. And also, this one is crucial. I was trying to emulate how it would be for getting more speed about the allies dying. It's not necessary, but also it has come in clutch for me in PvP. He's a great nuker, and because he's an HP champion, he survives more often than not. And if your allies die, he takes care of the rest so easily. The other teams I'm working on, his necrosis debuff is amazing. It's kind of like an inbuilt soul reap. He finishes off the enemies, so if you kill some parts of the team, he just wraps them up. Let me showcase this. I have been trying to experiment on my ice golem team. This team you might be familiar with. If you're not, then do check out my ice golem hard 10 video. And there is the team that I came up with. I've tried to replace him as the secondary nuker for the second wave, but watch this. Maybe we will see this in action. If some champions are left standing, his necrosis buff is great because that takes care of the rest. Let's see. Marius will nuke. Let's see if somebody survives. This, did you see that? Necrosis immediately kills them off because of the extra damage that necrosis does. So that is kind of the cool thing about him. And he transforms and he hits. Necrosis down there as well, and he will kill. Again, with blessings, he will hit much harder, so he should be able to one-shot those waves. Once the blessings are in, I'll let the run go through. But yeah, Embrys is an amazing champion. I am gonna keep playing around with him to see. Also, this block revive, by the way, for these ads is amazing in this particular team. I'm not done testing. I might come up with something cooler than this. Although this team is pretty cool, not saying anything around it. It goes much faster with Sierra or any other nuker, to be honest. It goes around 20 seconds or even lower. 15 is the 26 is the lowest I've gotten, actually, not 20. But yeah, I'm going to keep experimenting with this guy and come up with cooler teams. And I'm sure in the next month or 2 months, a lot more people will be picking him up. So, and you will get a lot of guides from other people. I don't want to replicate what they're doing. I will keep continuing doing what I do best, which is coming up with these cool teams which are kind of non-meta at the moment. If you like that kind of content, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching till the end. Appreciate that very much, and see you next time.